Good day, everyone, and all my subscribers. The student asked me to solve the question I want to solve here today for him, and it's a quadratic equation involving indices. It's a further math question, or you can still say math question. So the question is this: solve 3 raised to power 2x minus 24, bracket open, 2 raised to power x, bracket closed, minus 81 equals 0. 3 raised to power 2x minus 24 into 3 raised to power x minus 81 is equal to 0. So 3 raised to power 2x, 2x is an index, 3 is the base. So the 2x, you can say the same thing as 2 times x, or you say x times 2. Though you cannot say x2, you have to put the multiplication there to show that 2 times x and x times 2 is the same. That is why in this second step, I put 3 raised to power x in the bracket and 2 outside the bracket beside the x. So you open it back, it's going to give you 3 raised to power 2x. So you can get that one right. That is the first step in solving the equation. So 3 raised to power x squared minus 24 into 3 raised to power x minus 81 equals 0. So we are not going to represent 3 raised to power x with any letter. So y is here. Let 3 raised to power x equals y. You cannot use x again, but you can use any letter. So I have used y in this question. So we are going to replace 3 raised to power x with y. So that second line will now become y raised to power 2, that is y squared, minus 24y minus 81 equals 0. You will see that that index equation has been reduced to a quadratic equation. You already know that we have 4 methods of solving quadratic equation. You can use factorization method, you can use graphical method, you can use completing the square method, you can use the quadratic equation formula that we call almighty formula. So here I'm going to try 2 methods. So let's first of all use factorization method, because that is the method almost every student would like to use first. So y squared minus 27y, y squared minus 24y minus 81 equals 0. So we are going to look for 2 factors, 2 values that when you add will give you minus 24. So let me say minus 24y, and when you multiply it will give you 81. When you add the 2 numbers, it must give you minus 24. Then when you multiply it, it must give you minus 81, not 81, minus 81. So solving the quadratic equation using factorization method is now going to give you y squared minus 27y plus 3y minus 81. So here we use minus 27 and plus 3. Minus 27 plus 3 will give you minus 24. You are holding 27, you pay 3 out of it, so you are holding 24, minus 24. Then we multiply the 2. Minus 27 times plus 3 is going to give you minus 81. So you have to be careful of signs here. When you are dealing with a negative number, you have to be careful. That is the reason why many students fail mathematics, minus sign. So we are going to group them into 2. Y squared minus 27y into the bracket plus 3y minus 81, which equals 0. So what is common to y squared and 27y? You will see that that is y. So y will be outside the bracket. Y into y minus 27. If you want to know whether you are correct, just multiply it back. You are going to get the former line. So plus 3 into y minus 27 equals 0. So the second bracket there, 3 is common. So 3 will be outside. 3 into y minus 27 equals 0. So you know it's a quadratic equation, so you're going to have 2 answers. So you're not going to say either y minus 27 is equal to 0. You see that y minus 27 is common in this line. 5 minus 27 is common, so you bring it out to be 0. Then y plus 3 will be 0. You know, one of the two must be 0 to get the 0 in front of this equality sign. So solving this, you're not going to get y is equal to 27 or y is equal to minus 3. So that is the first step. We have gotten our y's. Then we need our x, because here we represent 3 raised to power x to be y. So let's move on. Now, you're not going to, you have 3 raised to power x equals y. Then you're not going to equate 3 raised to power x to 27. You cannot use the negative number, minus 3. You neglect it because it cannot express into 3 raised to power something, because we're having 3 raised to power x here. So what we are going to have here must be 3 raised to power something. So 3 raised to power x equals 27. And you already know that 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. The same thing as 3 raised to power 3. 3 raised to power x equals 3 raised to power 3. This, cut the base. Then we equate the indices. The index here, x equals 3. That is the final solution. Now, going back to the quadratic equation now, I want to use another method using the quadratic equation formula, which we all call almighty formula. So you recall, you don't need to memorize it, but if you want to memorize it, you are free. The formula is at the back of your table. So y equals minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This place is plus or minus because we need two answers. So the square root of 4, for instance, now is either plus 2 or minus 2, not just 2. The square root of 4 is plus 2 or minus 2. That's why plus or minus is here. So from the equation, which is y squared minus 24y minus 81 equals 0, a is the coefficient of y squared, and in this place is 1. B is the coefficient of y, and in this equation is minus 24, not 24, minus 24. And the constant term, the term without any variable, no x, no y, no nothing, is your constant term, and that will be minus 81. So we are not going to put the values for A, B, and C into the formula. So we are going to have y is equal to minus into minus 24 plus or minus square root of minus 24 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 81, your B and your C, over 2a, which is 2 times 1. Then you reduce it. So minus times minus here, we're going to have 24 plus or minus 24 squared will give you 76. Then 4 times 1 times minus 81 will give you minus 324. Minus 324. Then times this minus, that's why we're having plus here. Plus 324. Then 2 times 1, of course, that's over 2. So y equals 24 plus or minus root 900 over 2. Then you reduce it all along. And square root of 900 is 30. So y equals 24 plus or minus 30 over 2. Now you're having plus or minus, then you split it into 2. Either y equals 24 plus 30 over 2, or y equals 24 minus 30 over 2. So y equals 54 over 2, 24 plus 30, or y equals 24 minus 30 as minus 6 over 2. So as the first method, I'm going to get y equals 27 or y equals minus 3. Then you are going to equate 3 raised to power x to y and get your x equals 3 as in the first method. So you see that the question is very simple if you get the first line. So I am Peter Adewumi, and the channel is STEM by Peter Adewumi. You can like the solution, you can share it, you can comment. Then if you want to subscribe to this channel, I pray that you do so. Thank you very much. Bye for now.